Over here. Hello. Welcome back into the Enrichment Sports Source. In this segment, I want to talk a little bit about Tennessee's schedule, but first, something from Jimmy Himes' Sports Talk show on Friday. Daniel Hood, who may be the singular best thing to come out of the Lane Kiffin tenure here. That kid's turnaround and what he did and how he's done, it's a good story. He was on with John Wilkerson and Jimmy Himes over here and had a very interesting quote about the effort that Butch Jones coaxed out of his team.
Just doing it fast, because that's the tempo you're going to practice at. When you're going out to run, it wasn't about necessarily making times. You were graded on your effort. And that's why I think, even at 5-7 this year, I think we probably overachieved, because if that was coached by another staff with the lack of talent that we had, we probably would have been one of the worst teams in Tennessee history.
Pretty strong comment from Daniel Hood. Good pat on the back for Butch Jones there. I think they're going to need for Butch Jones to coax that kind of effort out of the Vols again in 2014. Let's take a look. Chuck Cavaleris is over at the big board. Hopefully these names are big enough to read over there. There you go. Now this is the post-bowl records. These are the post-bowl records for Tennessee's schedule and opponents next year. Sports Illustrated has already put out an early top 25. You'll see that Utah State, number 25 in the nation in their early poll. They won their Poinsettia Bowl. They're 9-5. Arkansas State 8-5. They won the GoDaddy.com Bowl. Then you go to Oklahoma, which is number 5 in their poll. 11-2 this year, beat Alabama pretty handily in the Sugar Bowl. You get an open date after Oklahoma, and then you go back on the road to Georgia, and they are 14th in SI's poll. 8-5, lost the Gator Bowl. Florida's then next at 4-8 last season. Look, Florida's your first breather. Then you got Chattanooga from the FCS, but here's the thing. They were 8-4 and won the Southern Conference. It's not like you're playing a team that's 1-11 from the FCS level. And ask Florida about how dangerous FCS opponents can be. Number 19, Ole Miss on the road, 8-5. They won the Music City Bowl. Then you've got Alabama here. They're number 2 in the SI poll, 11-2, lost the Sugar Bowl. At South Carolina, they're number 12 in the poll, 11-2, won the Capital One. You get an open date after Carolina. Kentucky 2-10. That's the other team on your schedule with a losing record this year. Just 2 of them. Missouri number 17, 12-2, won the Cotton Bowl. Vandy 9-4, won the BBVA Compass Bowl. I tell you what, let's go to this full screen graphic here if we can, Cruz. Look at this. 7 teams in Sports Illustrated's early top 25. 9 bowl teams on Tennessee's schedule. 10 teams with winning records. And as I said, the FCS opponent you've got was a league champion. Chuck, I'm going to give you the opportunity here. Mark down the sure wins.
The sure wins.
Sure wins, and we'll comment on whether or not you're right or wrong.
Well, you don't see that many, but I would start here and there.
That's it. You got 2 sure wins.
Chattanooga and Kentucky, and that would be it. I mean, you're tempted to go here, but that's not a sure win.
Guys, Tennessee breaking in, new offensive line, new defensive line. Your quarterback situation is still up in the air. Anybody want to throw another one in there for Chuck?
I'm going to go with Arkansas State.
A sure win.
I think
I'm not.
It's sure. I mean, okay. I mean, what are we going sure? Better than 75%?
Bob, I'm going to go with you. You're going to lead me over there. I'm going to go.
I'm going to go Arkansas State. I will give Tennessee a 75% chance of winning that. That's pretty sure. And I'm not so sure about Kentucky. I think Kentucky may be a bigger question because of what you just said. New offensive line, new defensive line, quarterback questions.
You're young.
You're going to be very, very young. And patience.
Well, you saw how this team's roster got decimated this year. You could be roster down there too, but Kentucky's kind of in that same boat with you. Worse than you, I would think. But Chuck, we got a couple people going to put Arkansas State up there, so you have to do like a small W.
And I think it needs to be 90% to be sure.
A sure thing.
75% is more in that probable, partly cloudy range.
Well, I mean, if you're going to go 90%, then take off Kentucky, take off Arkansas State, and Chattanooga. That's your sure win. I mean, if 90% is the standard.
Jimmy?
I think it's Chattanooga and Kentucky, and I would not put Arkansas State on there. And Kentucky, look, Tennessee wasn't very good last year, right? They still beat Kentucky pretty handily, and it's a home game, so I think they ought to be able to handle Kentucky. Yeah. But Arkansas State is worrisome because, and I've actually seen them play. What are they? Warhawks now,
Wolves.
Red Wolves. That's right. Wherever they are.
The Red Wolves.
They've got pretty good players, and I've seen them do pretty good against some of these upper level teams. So that I think
Have
that's
they
a
beaten
concern.
any upper level teams?
No, but they've competed with them.
And
I
the-
can't think of one they beat, but
Well,
they've competed with.
the other thing is their last two coaches, Hugh Freeze, who's now at Ole Miss, and Gus Malzahn, who's now at Auburn. I mean, they've done something right.
And the guy they just hired went to Boise State.
Yeah. So
Somehow
okay.
they find pretty good coaches.
They
there.
sure do. They sure do. All right. Thank you, Chuck. Nice job. I think you're correct. There's two. All right. When we come back on the Enrichment Sports Source, Mark and Don return. We talk a little bit about Auburn, but a whole lot about Kentucky. Come on back on the Enrichment Sports Source.
You are watching East Tennessee's first and only year-round sports talk show on television.